but it's lots of fun. It's a tote bag, but it's got a little different elements is the way it's put together. So I have everything laid out here as into the size of pieces that I need. So I got this project off of Annie's Creative Quilts, so I will link that in the description box so that if you did want to do this project, you can get those instructions. So let's get started. And this is the collection of fabric that this is on is Handmade fabric, and it is called Magnolia. So it actually looks a little bit here like cotton, little cotton pieces, but that it does have the magnolias on it. So if you're looking for the fabric, it is a Handmade fabric, and the name of the collection is Magnolia. So let's get started. So the first step is we have 8 pieces of fabric that are 8.5-inch square. So to give the bag a little bit of stability, we're going to use some batting, and we're going to use our pellon. So this is an iron-on pellon that's a little bit stiffer. So the first step I'm going to do is take my 8 pieces of fabric, which are 8.5-inch square, and on the back of this I'm going to iron my pellon, and then we're going to sew on a piece of the batting too for our first. This will be the fronts and the backs of the bag once we put all that together. Okay, so we've got those sewed together this way. We're going to press these seams good, and then this is going to sew onto this and make one large piece. So let me press and go sew the next piece together. Okay, so we've got the front and the back sewed together, the 8 pieces of 8.5 squares. We sewed 4 and 4, which makes the front and the back. And then we've got our strip that is going to be the bottom, and we put the pellon and the batting on that. And that is going to be the bottom. So now we've got that pinned, and we're going to go to the sewing machine and sew the bottoms onto the bag. Okay, so now we've got the bottoms on, and what we're going to do is on each of these we're going to measure off 1 3/4 inches in here. I don't know if that pin's going to show up. Do this one. 1 3/4 inches on each side. Of each one of them, and we're going to cut that out. Have a little notch area. So those we're going to trim off of there. Sew it together, you'll see how it'll make the bottom. Okay, so then we're going to put right sides together here, and what we're going to go to the machine and we're going to sew down here and across the bottom, and that's going to make the structure of the bag. So I'm going to go sew that. Okay, so we've got all of the sides, the bottom together. So now what we're going to do is here where you notched out that little area, you're gonna meet your seams right here, and we're gonna stitch across, and this is what builds the bottom of the bag. So it's a little bit thick with all of this, but it will sew through and the thickness just really gives it much more structure. So we're gonna do both sides like that. And then we'll come back and we're gonna do our lining for the inside of the bag. So we're gonna go sew these. Okay, so now I turned it just so you could see how that made the bottom of the bag. So this is where we're at right now. So now we're going to work on our lining. So we're gonna put the lining together and the straps. Okay, so these are gonna be the straps, and we're gonna place a piece of the fusible pellon down the center of these, and then we're gonna turn these and stitch them, sew them, and get them ready to attach to the bag. Okay, so I put the pellon down the center of the strap, and then I just turned the edges about 1/4 of an inch, and then I folded them in, and now I'm gonna go to the machine and we're gonna stitch all this down. So this one, you do not put the batting in. It would just be a little too thick. You could if you wanted to, but I'm not putting the batting in this. I'm just only putting the pellon. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we've gotten the bag all put together. This is the bottom of the bag, and the inside. So now we're gonna do the lining. These are the straps. I did that, put the pellon inside, and did a little bit of stitching on here to give it some detail. So these we're going to pin here, and then when we sew the lining and we flip it, these will all come out on top. So the next step is to do our lining. So this is the lining, which is 2 pieces. And these two pieces are 16.5 by 17.5. And then on the bottom, when we put the bottom together, we're gonna notch this out the same way we did the bottom of the other bag. So we're gonna come in 1 inch and 3/4, and we're going to mark that, and we're going to notch this out so that we can sew in our area for the bottom to fit, the bottom lining to fit in. And then on this side, we're just going to come in and notch that out. The same way on this side, come in a little bit more and just notch that out. Okay, so the same way we did the bag, we're going to go to this machine, stitch down the side, stitch across the bottom, and then we're going to make that same little side pocket thing here to for this to fit down into the bag. Okay, so we've sewed the front and the back lining together. I pressed the seams here. So just like we did on the bag, we're going to take our seams here and pin them together. And then we're going to stitch across this, and this kind of makes the bottom of the bag lining so that it fits right down into the bag once we put that together. So we're going to pin both these sides with the matching the seams up. And then we're going to go to the sewing machine and stitch across this to create that little niche here that is going to make your bottom of your bag. Okay, so we put the lining together, and then this I'm just showing you here where we did the little pocket on the corners, which is built in the bottom of the bag, and that's going to fit down into the lining. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our bag. Okay, so we're going to take our bag and we're going to, the wrong sides of the strap, we're going to come in about 3 inches on each side. We're going to pin that down. And make sure you don't get it twisted or anything. You'll bring up your wrong side on this side, bring it in about 3 inches, and pin this one. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the other strap. And then when we actually sew it all together, and it'll all come out on the right sides. So we're going to flip it over and do our wrong sides here, and just make sure they match up with your 3 inches. And pin them down. Same way on this one. Okay, so now then we are going to turn our lining inside out, and this is going to slide right onto the bag. And I know that the lining's got 2 different colors, but it was all in the same collection. It came in a little kit together, so it's really turning out cute though. So now we're going to pin our top all the way around, and we're going to leave about a 3-inch opening because we've got to flip it inside out to get it all to the right side. So I'm going to pin this and go to the sewing machine and sew this, and then we'll be almost finished. Okay, so we sewed that all the way around, left about a 3-inch gap there, and that's how we're going to turn it. So I'm going to take all my pins out, and then we're going to turn it, and then we'll do a little bit of top stitching. And the other thing that I did where the straps were at inside where I sewed them, I just reinforced them back and forth a couple of times just so they would be good and tight. So, okay, so we got about a 3-inch gap that we left that we did not sew. So what we want to do is just take the whole bag and flip it. And you just have to be patient because it all will come through that little area. You just don't want to push it too hard so that you rip your seams. So start on one part and just start pushing it through. Your lining, which is going to go fit right down into your little corners. And your straps are going to come up perfectly. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go and press all of this down and especially this little area where we left open. And we're gonna go around and top stitch the top, and we are gonna be finished. The actual project shows a closure, a little button and loop over. I'm not gonna do that because I just think it's easier to leave it open. I don't think most people use that. If you're taking it out for shopping or wherever you're taking it, I think leaving it just open is gonna be perfect. So we're gonna finish off the top, press that out, and then we're gonna see the finished project. Okay guys, here is the finished project. It turned out so cute. I'm gonna zoom in so you can kind of see the detail, how I did the stitching. You can see the straps here. Pretty detailed in the straps. Magnolia bag. Hoffman fabric, Magnolia. And I will put the link where I got the instructions to make the bag. It turned out so cute. I'll show y'all the inside of the bag with the lining. So cute. And I enjoyed bringing this project to you, and if you enjoyed it, I hope that you will give me a thumbs up. That helps my videos show more on YouTube, which helps my channel grow. And if you could subscribe to my channel, that really helps. I really loved doing this project. I do have an Etsy shop. I will link that in the link below. This will be for sale in my Etsy shop. If you're interested in it, you can go there and purchase it. Thank you so much.